Lori is spectacular, and look at her lighting, how amazing. And I am going to read her bio now. So let me find this because I do have it open for myself. So Lori is an international media marketing and branding expert who specializes in helping entrepreneurs and business leaders understand the power of developing one cohesive plan. She sure is. She is a powerful speaker. Oh, let me say that again. She is a powerful speaker who empowers and inspires others to step into their greatness and use media to reach more people and increase sales. Who doesn't want to increase sales? Grab your pens, you still have time. Lori was selected as an official speaker for the Think and Grow Rich World Legacy Tour and was invited as a featured speaker for Turning Point 2020 with 2.25 million people attending live. She is featured in media over 500 times a year, and her global work earned her the Lifetime Presidential Service Award. And most recently, the Global Visionary Leader Award, as well as special leadership recognition by the LA Tribune. Lori McNeil, take it away.
Thank you so much. And thank you for your patience in dealing with my lighting. I am in the Bahamas today. And I thought I had good lighting and I had to move things around to get a little bit better lighting. So I realize it's not ideal, but thank you for your patience in that. I am here as a keynote speaker at Atlantis in NASA, and it's been an amazing several days. I did a keynote in Chicago before that, and I'm landing in Miami tonight to do another keynote, and then in Tampa in front of 1,000 people for another keynote. So I'm on a little bit of a tour, and I'm so glad for technology because it allows me to be here with you guys this morning. So I am excited to be here, Marianne. Thank you so much for having me. You are a rock star, and you're always so patient and so generous with your comments and your support for me. And I love supporting you back in everything that you're doing. And it's just a beautiful relationship and friendship. So thank you so much for having me again on your broadcast. It's always an honor to be a keynote opening up your events. And with that, let's just roll right into it. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Lori McNeil. I'm an international business strategist that specializes in media, branding, and marketing. And I teach the trifecta of those three things in order to build your strong foundation for your overall business plan and not just throw a little bit of spaghetti at the wall when you have a little bit of extra time and a little bit of extra money, which is what a lot of people do. So when you actually understand what that means and how important that is to allocate funds and a strategy from the very beginning, you actually can completely catapult your success. I like to equate it to the tortoise and the hare, you know, that consistent action, whatever it is, wherever your budget is, and continue to build up on that will actually get you further faster. And that's what a lot of people don't realize. So we're here talking also about God and about all of the amazing things that that each of us have within us, that we were created to be on this earth in order to do exactly what we were called to do. So I am honored. I am excited to be here with you guys, and I want you guys to really dig deep into understanding more about who you are, who you serve, and the problem that you solve, and everything within you that allows you to be you. And understand that there is a God in a universe that love you and that are absolutely conspiring for you and for your best interest in a very, very powerful way. With you, not against you. And I say that because I know that sometimes as entrepreneurs, it feels like sometimes the world can be against us when all these crazy things happen. So I want you to know and understand that the burning desire within you is in you for a reason, and that you were created for that reason. And it doesn't matter how many health coaches there are, and it doesn't matter how many business strategists there are. And it doesn't matter how many there are of anything else in your industry. There is no such thing as competition, because nobody can be you. Nobody shows up the way that you do. Nobody teaches the way that you do, coaches the way that you do, has the heart that you do. And when you understand the deeper value of who you are, then that's a complete mindset shift around your value in this world and your mission in this world and your calling and your appointment to do exactly what it is that only you can do. People can rip off your material, they can copy your mannerisms, they can copy a lot of stuff, but the reality is that you will reach the people that you are meant to reach, because nobody truly can be you. And when you think about that in terms of your messaging, and when you think about that in terms of how you show up in the world on social media, in media platforms, on broadcasts, whatever that is within whatever it is that you're doing, because you should be the same person and maintain that continuity, that consistency across all aspects of how you're showing up in the world. When you do that, then you will attract the right people that you are supposed to attract. And there's no such thing as, oh, well, they stole my client and they have my material and they're trying to copy me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because nobody can be me. Nobody has my crazy personality in this world. And nobody can be Marianne, and nobody can be anybody else. And that's the beautiful thing about who you are, is it's not really about what you say. You're meant to be an expert in the area that you're an expert in, and people need your help. But people buy from people they like, know, and trust. And they like, know, and trust you and who you are. And people will buy from people. People want to have results, yes, but they're not as bad as they want that result. Very few people in this world will buy from somebody that they actually hate, can't stand, and don't like, and all those other things. So when you understand the deeper value of who you are, and even if you're only meant to reach one person, that one person needs you. The world needs you to show up and be you. And so when that is really, truly, deeply understood, then you can start to dig into your overall branding essence of your messaging. So there's a reason I'm making the connection, and I'm starting off the broadcast with this in this particular way, because it's not possible for you to have the correct messaging in order to reach the people that you're meant to reach if you don't do this deeper dive, and if you don't stand firmly in who you are and understand who you are, who you serve, and the problem that you solve. Because my friends, if you don't fully understand that, you can't expect your prospective clients and customers to understand that. And a confused mind never buys. So even if they trust your results, they might like you, they might have this, you're not following through with that equation, that like, know, and trust factor through the consistency that gets them to the purchase. I mean, let's be real, to get to the sale. So if a lot of you are struggling with your ideal client and customer, and I say that because some of you may have a lot of clients, but you're maybe completely exhausted because you're working with the wrong people. And so you're working for people trying to keep the lights on, so to speak, but they're not necessarily the people that you want to work with. So when you are truly authentically yourself and you understand that value, it would be amazing to work with 5 of the right people rather than 50 of the wrong people just to make the sale. So I want you guys to really understand the deeper connection between a lot of the stuff that I'm saying. And if you're taking notes right now, I want you to take notes on what it is that you are doing that needs to be done differently. Whether you need to work on your confidence, you need to work on your messaging, you need to work on your consistency. Okay, there's a lot of things just in the last few minutes that I've mentioned. And I need you to be honest with yourself about where you are so that you can have an amazing second half to this calendar year that's going to catapult you into the next year. You can't keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. So in order to do that, you have to actually be honest. What do you need? What needs to change right now, today? And then put those action steps in place that are going to back up that clock, that are actually going to get there. Thinking about the tortoise and the hare and the consistency of whatever it is that you do. If you can do a couple things a day in your habits, great. If you need to dig deep into, hiring a coach, great. If you have a $50 a month to spend on some type of media or advertising, great. Start with wherever you are with what you have and be consistent with that and moving forward. And I say that because I talk to so many people who say, well, I don't have the budget that you have, Lori, or I don't have the budget that so-and-so has, or I don't have this, or I don't have that. Get out of the negative thinking of what you don't have and concentrate on what you do have, internally and externally. Your internal tools within you are meant for you. You are created to solve external problems. Your internal toolbox allows you to solve external problems in only a way that you can. So focus on the tools that you have and build within those tools continually, every day, every week, every month. What is it that you need to do? I talk to so many people who say, well, Lori, I'm just not on enough stages, or I need more of this. I need more of this. Well, you can't go on vacation every month, or you can't stop working at, 5 o'clock, or you need to work on the weekends, whatever that is. Being an entrepreneur is about doing whatever it takes because you're passionate about it, which means you have the boundaries, absolutely. But it means that you are willing to do whatever it takes. I travel nonstop and I am still working on 1,000 other things when I travel. My work does not stop just because I'm traveling. It may look a little different if I don't have service, but it doesn't stop. So some of you need to realize that it is your lifestyle. You're not creating a job for yourself. This is not a job for yourself. And that is so important because I talk to so many people who are still struggling with that. They think, and I know because I talk to people, that you have the boundary and you're protecting your peace. That's important, absolutely. But you need to understand that it takes years of hard work and dedication and sacrifice to actually get to that time and money freedom that many of you are after. It does not happen overnight. So when you have these elements in place from the very beginning, it's never too late to start. It makes a really big difference in how you even think about approaching that day, how you even think about prioritizing, how you even think about your goals and where you want to go and how fast you want to get there, or how consistently you want to get there with your 5-year plan, your 10-year plan, whatever it is, or if you want financial freedom, 6 and 12 months from now. So you need to be very realistic about where you are right now and be very, very honest with yourself about what needs to change right now and what is holding you back from getting there. Many of you want to be on more stages. You want to be in more media. You want to be seen more. That's great. Put in the work and show up and be there. And it sounds simple, but there's a reason I'm mentioning it. It's because I talk to people all the time that have major mindset, that need major mindset shifts in order to actually get to where they want to go. And it all starts in the mind, because then your actions flow from that continually. So I talked about desire. I talked about behavior based on the mindset. My friends, those are all found in Napoleon Hill's amazing book of Think and Grow Rich. If you're not familiar with that, I want to encourage you to read that book, digest it, live it, breathe it. There's a lot of amazing nuggets within that book. There's people I know that read it every single January, every single year, because you should always be growing and changing. And when you grow and change, you have these aha moments, even when you read the same material over and over and over. So I want you guys to think about where you want to go. I'm in media over 500 times a year. So think about where you want to go, and then think about what you actually need to do to get there. Do you need to be more consistent with your newsletter? Do you need to actually learn how to pitch media? Do you need to hire someone, to do some pitches for you, but yet still understand the decisions that need to be made for your business in guiding that whole process, even if you hire someone? Do you need to practice your speech, your speaking, your stage presence, all of these different things? I can tell you that when I was first transitioning out of being a full-time business professor, I basically had kind of 2 jobs when I was in transition. I would teach all day for the university, and I would pretty much be up all night on different broadcasts around the world, different podcasts, recording videos, developing out curriculum. Now, is that a very healthy thing to do long term? No. But my desire was so deep that it wasn't about the time off for me. I knew that I had a calling and a mission, and I was willing to do whatever it took to actually make that smooth transition so that I can get to be where I am today, which is speaking to all of you amazing people from the Bahamas, which is what a lot of people want. You want to travel, you want to do things. You have your boundaries, absolutely. But some of you need to realize that there are no days off. There are no times off. I have people ask me all the time, well, Lori, you work on Saturday? You work on Sunday? Yes. I work whenever I need to work. I work all the time. And that's what a lot of people need to realize. And I'm saying some truth bombs that may sound simple, but it's for a reason. And I just really feel in my heart that I need to share some of this with you. Because when you understand who you are and who you were created to be and what God and the universe have for you moving forward, then you are laser focused and you are on that mission. And it is about your mission. It is not about you. So that's what I want you guys to understand, is that when you give and when you serve and when you dig deeper into that desire, you will get everything that you are supposed to get in this life. You will get and you will benefit from everything that you want. You just have to understand the connection of how to get there and how important it is for you to more or less have some of these sacrifices. Are you going to travel? Are you going to be on media multiple times a day? If that's what you want, if that's what needs to happen in order for you to get to where you want to go, yes. I'm on broadcasts all day long, bouncing between time zones all day long. And is it kind of crazy? Yeah. But my desire and my mission is stronger than, whatever the inconvenience or whatever the frustration or whatever it might be that is happening that day. And it's not like this is an everyday thing. I'm just saying these are very real things. So if you want more media, you've got to learn the world of media. You've got to understand how to pitch. You've got to understand how to show up. You've got to understand your messaging points. You've got to understand what is the desire is that people are wanting so that you actually are a raving fan and get asked back, which is like the ultimate compliment. So I want you guys to understand that you need to be consistent with your social media. You want on more stages? You've got to be consistent with what you're doing. You've got to show up on social media. You've got to do your newsletter consistently. There's all of these different things that you have to be consistent with. And most entrepreneurs are actually not very good at the consistency, and you're not very good at the follow through. And then you're wondering why nobody knows who you are and why you're not getting asked to do certain things. So the consistency is basically the secret sauce of that formula. And again, so simple, but most entrepreneurs are not consistent. I have people say to me regularly, Lori, you're one of the most consistent people on social media. I see you on my feed on just about any platform all day long, every day. Yes. And guess what? It works. It absolutely works. So the other thing I get asked is, how do I know which platforms to show up on? When you know who you are, who you serve, and the problem that you solve, then you understand the demographics of which platforms that you need to be on. Do you need to be on all of them? No. You need to be on your dominant ones of where your ideal client and customer are hanging out. You need to be consistent with that. Show up, show up, show up. In the very beginning, I was doing tons of Facebook Lives or videos or different things. My numbers weren't very high because you have to start somewhere and be consistent with that. There are times when people might not be watching you at all, or maybe you'll get low numbers in your views or low engagement. Okay, there's the part of that is the consistency, and part of that is that you need to pay attention to what people are engaging with and pay more attention to what they're engaging with and do more of what they, through their likes, through their comments, through their interaction, they're telling you what they want. So pay attention to what they want. Is it the text of what you're saying? Is it the content of the video? Is it doing more video? Is it doing more graphics? Is it doing more branded graphics? There's all of these different things, because I have people ask me all the time. They're like, well, Lori, my views are really low. Okay, be consistent with that, but pay attention to the videos that are getting the most engagement. What are the topics that you're talking about? How are you showing up on the videos that are actually getting you the most engagement? because that data is telling you something and you need to pay attention to that. The other trick I want you to just share with you, for those of you who don't know this, is that you need to make a post and allow about 30 minutes before you go in and add any links or any hashtags. A lot of people will do that right away. It completely screws up the algorithm, and specifically on Facebook. So you want to wait about 30 minutes, wait for about 30 to 50 people to engage in that, likes, hearts, comments, whatever it is, views, whatever it is. After you hit about that 30 to 50 range, then you go back and add the hashtags and you add the website links for your call to action or whatever that is. And you can change up even the verbiage within the text, because the algorithm has already kind of been set and it's telling Facebook, oh, there's quite a bit of engagement in this. So Facebook is smart. The people at Facebook are, they're intelligent people. They understand what you're doing. They understand that you're trying to pull people away from Facebook, that you're trying to sell something. So you have to try to beat them at their own game. So you want to wait about 30 minutes and make sure that you have a little bit of engagement and then go back. Does that take time? Yes. But are the results worth it? Absolutely. So that's the part. All of this takes time. There is no fast track to success. As much as people are trying to search for that and find that, you really can't fast track it. I talk to people all the time who try to sweep things under the rug, not building some of these foundational things, not understanding them. And then eventually they're building a house of cards. Or even if they're at that 6-figure mark or that million mark or whatever it is, the question I always want to ask them is, how much more successful, how much more of an impact can you have if you actually backed up and did things correctly? Because you can only fake it till you make it for so long, and pretty soon you're going to hit some kind of a roadblock, or just limit your own success because of how you're doing things and how you're not doing things. So I want you guys to understand that the foundation of some of these things that I'm sharing for you is so important. And when I'm talking about the internal, it absolutely has a direct correlation with how you show up in media, how your brand is perceived, how you show up with your marketing messages. You have to start with the internal before you can move forward and understand how to even make some of those decisions and really put that trifecta in place. Some of you need to understand the direct connection between marketing and branding. Marketing through your 3 main messaging points is what gets people in the door. Branding is what keeps them coming back. They are 2 separate things, but when you use them together, they are powerful when you understand how that works. So your messaging is super important. Once you do the deeper dive of who you are, who you serve, and the problem that you solve, and you understand who's coming into your world, who you're attracting, then you understand the emotional connection that those people need to connect with in order to work with you. You understand the colors behind what you're doing. You understand the typography. You understand the social media platforms of where they're hanging out. You understand who they are and what's important to them, not just the problems that you're trying to solve in the business world, but the emotional connection of what gets to them on a deeper level to where they like, know, and trust you. And everything within your messaging, everything within your branding needs to maintain that continuity. I can't tell you how many people will hire someone to write their copy for them, whether it's a newsletter or social media, whatever that is. And then they show up and their branding is totally off. They're unprofessional. They speak differently than their copywriter, writes the written material. There's all these things that are raising red flags for people consciously or, subconsciously, and they might not be able to figure it out. And that's a lot of times why you end up being frustrated as a client or customer, and why you end up working with the wrong people. So if you hire somebody, whatever it is that you're hiring it out, you still have to steer your own vehicle. You still have to understand what you're doing and why you're doing it. So it's super important for you guys to understand all these connections, even when you're hiring different pieces out. That's why I teach, and this is the educator coming out in me and the coach coming out in me. It's important for you to understand why those decisions need to be made, even if you're not the one actually doing them. You need to always maintain control of your company, of your brand, of the decisions that are being made under your brand. This is why a lot of people get so frustrated thinking, oh, I just hired the expert. I just trusted them. They were just supposed to do what they're supposed to do. Yes, that's true. That's why you hire experts, but you still need to be in complete control. of what is going on under your brand and for you, and maintaining that continuity across every experience that people are having.
Oh, it looks like she froze a bit, so we'll just wait until she unfreezes. I guess everything else is perfect in the Bahamas, but maybe not so much the internet. I'm coming back on, she says. Okay, she just messaged me.
Oh, perfect.
Let's try to see. Oh, there she is. Hopefully. I know Lori always has such great information, and thank you everyone so much for the comments. Please keep them coming. I can't see everyone, so I can't say individually hello to everyone, but here we have Lori back, so I'm gonna give it away to Lori. Okay.
Well, that's technology in the Bahamas for you, apparently.
Exactly what I said. I go, I think the universe does that on purpose. You know, Bahamas is a vacation place. So if we have perfect internet, that means we're working all the time, right? So
That's right.
all
So,
good, all good.
yeah, thank you for your patience with that. So what I want you all to understand is that there is a direct correlation, and we've heard this, but you don't always hear about how important some of the internal mindset issues are when it comes to some of the branding, media, and marketing, because those are more like visual identifiers, visual assets. But what I want you to understand is that that can't happen to the extent that it needs to happen for you to attract the ideal client and customer unless you understand all the internal stuff and all of the mindset stuff behind it. It's not any different than any of the other internal mindset shifts that have to happen in order for you to be a rock star in your own industry. Don't think that that does not apply to media, branding, and marketing, because it absolutely does. And when you understand that connection, then you want to dig deeper so that people are seeing you. They're seeing your brilliance. They're seeing who you are. They're seeing that you can help them with their, with solve their problem, right? We're solving problems for people. So I want you to understand that these pieces are just important to dig deep into, just as much as they would be any other pieces as you're developing yourself as a leader, as a professional, into the greater version of who you were created, to be in that space. So that's why I'm stressing this so much, because this seems to be a huge mindset shift that needs to happen around media, branding, and marketing. And I'm realizing it more and more and more and more when it comes to the mindset shift that has to happen in order for you to be seen more, in order for you to reach those people. So we talked about marketing messages being what gets them in the door. Branding is what keeps them coming back. You want raving fans, you have to understand this connection and how those pieces fit together. Then you add in the media opportunities. You add in opportunities for podcasts. You add in opportunities for, for television and for different stages and different things like that. That's why I call it the trifecta that absolutely has to be a part of your foundation. All of these pieces have to fit together. And you can't just do everything virtually. You have to have that combination of different things that are both live and in person. You've got to show up. You've got to have that, on screen, off screen, whether it's meeting at your local community or, Marianne just got back from Maryland or whatever it is. Like, you have to have some kind of a plan that works for you, that actually incorporates both the virtual and the in-person, and understand that there's a strategy behind that as well when it comes to stages, when it comes to media, when it comes to all these things. And the other aspect I want to share with you guys is that there are 3 different ways to make money from speaking on stage. And a lot of people don't realize, because you're in such a hurry to get paid as a speaker. And yes, that is one way that you can get paid. But I can tell you that there's a lot of people who actually make the most money from the back of the room having a CTA and selling a product than they do as whatever their speaker fee is. There are so many different ways. So if you're trying to make money as a speaker, I want you to understand that that is not the only way that you get paid and make money as a speaker. So if you're trying to build that part of your portfolio, that also is the portfolio that needs to be built when you are having that strong brand, and when you're building out your marketing and your media and speaking on more stages, and all of these things tie together, then I want you to understand that it's more than just about the speaker fee. It's more than just about, they have to pay my hotel and my plane ticket if I'm going to show up. No, what a lot of you might not realize is that when you get earned media, for instance, You get earned media, meaning you did not pay for that placement. And for most 3 to 5 minute national television spots in the US, it's about $3,500 to $5,000 for that particular media spot. When you actually pitch and you gain earned media, you're paying for your own plane tickets a lot of the times, or your own hotel, or some of your own expenses. You don't have to pay for that spot to be on television, but they already know the value that they bring. They know that you're after those logos. They know that you're after the status. So you need to understand the value that you need to bring to them during that 3 to 5 minutes, and understand that they're not going to necessarily pay you to show up, especially if you're more or less an unknown, right? So now if you're on bigger television networks, maybe like potentially Oprah, Dr. Phil, things like that, some of those expenses can be taken care of the higher that you go in the media ranking. But I want you guys to understand that just to be on an ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox type of an affiliate, that you're going to be paying those travel expenses if it's an earned media spot. If it's not an earned media spot, then you're also going to be paying the $3,500 to $5,000 if you're just going to buy the air spot. So there's different ways to look at that. So you have to understand that it's an investment in your marketing. If you pay to be on a stage, if you pay to be on a media spot or whatever it is, it's actually a marketing expense. Don't look at it as, I don't want to pay to be on any of these. It's a marketing expense. And that's what I want you guys to understand, is that there's strategies involved in both investing and in getting paid and in making money in the back of the room. And you have to understand how to navigate through all of those. I can tell you that I still engage in all of them, even as a paid speaker, because I understand the strategy of also sponsoring events. I understand the investment piece of, and by the way, when you can go VIP, always go VIP. You will get so much more exposure, so much more opportunity, so much more out of going VIP and sponsoring the event. That changes the game in your mindset from, I don't want to be paid, I don't want to pay to be a speaker, to I'm sponsoring this event, I'm engaged, I'm a participant, I'm actually part of the team that's, engaging and putting this event on. It's a game changer. You're investing in that. You're not paying to be on the stage. There's a huge, huge difference. And some of you need to understand the importance of going VIP and the importance of actually sponsoring events. So when you understand how these pieces fit, then you start to get momentum and you start to understand what needs to happen in order to get to that next level that you're after, that all of you are telling me that you want. You want more stages, you want more media, you want more this, you want more that. Then you need to show up and actually understand the time and money investment that it takes, especially in the beginning when you're still trying to be kind of known in your industry. So I want you guys to really understand realistically what that looks like, and understand really the investment, the mindset behind the investment of your time and money, and then how that shifts and evolves as you shift and evolve into that. So when you know your messaging and you have the right marketing, then you're attracting the right client and customer. Then you're getting to that emotional connection with your branding, with your typography, with your colors, with everything that represents you and who you are. You're building your brand, you're building your notoriety, you're getting on more podcasts, you're getting on more stages, you're getting on more television. And you're creating this beautiful, beautiful strategy that allows you to be seen, heard, get results, and get asked and get invited more and more and more. So hopefully you guys are starting to understand why this is so important to put these things in place from the very beginning of your overall business plan. You can know your numbers, super important. You can know where you want to end up after 6 months, after every quarter, after the year. But then there's going to be a piece of that that's missing if you're not implementing the trifecta of the branding, media, and marketing as part of that overall business strategy. So if you're struggling to figure out why this, why not this, why not, you need to take a look at some of this stuff that I'm talking about and see what a difference it makes in the impact that you need to make in the world, that you were created to make in the world, and really the results that you're wanting to get out of your own business, out of your own life. I love doing what I do every single day, which is helping entrepreneurs just like you get from wherever you are to where you need to be. And if you guys need help, if you have questions with any of this, just reach out to me. I'm available. I get back to people pretty quickly. Just let me know how I can help you, whether it's social media, branding. I live and breathe this stuff every single day, and I've been doing it for 28 years, and I absolutely love it. Don't stay stuck. Have the courage, have the confidence to do something different and not keep doing the same thing, expecting that different result. So reach out to me. LoriMcNeil.com is my website. You can download my free guide on business essentials and reach out to me with any questions or comments that you have. And I would be more than happy to help make some of these shifts for you quickly so that you can get onto the path of where God and the universe have created you to be. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Lori. So it's actually been more than a half an hour and more than 30 minutes. So you could post your link as to where they can go. And there was a question posted earlier. I'm just going to read it. What are your dominant platform? What is your dominant platform, or what are your dominant platforms, and where your ideal clients hangs out? I'm going to say she probably meant hangs out.
Mine personally?
Yes.
So I have different strategies for different platforms that I have a very specific strategy for my brand and for my business. So for LinkedIn, my whole LinkedIn is created specifically for corporations and corporate. So everything that I do with my newsletter, with my articles, with the content that I post on LinkedIn is specifically for because I'm both a coach and a consultant. So those are more my consulting clients and those corporations. Facebook is designed mostly for small business and entrepreneur. My LinkedIn is also a little, my Instagram is a little bit more geared toward entrepreneurs as well. And my Twitter and my TikTok are designed mostly for level 4 and level 5 publications, as well as my website. My website is not meant for client acquisition. My website is specifically designed very intentionally for level 4 and level 5 publications, such as Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., things like that. So I have a very different strategy than most people, but as far as small business and entrepreneurs, it would be mostly Facebook.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of knew that, but I didn't want to answer for you.
Yeah.
I find that I spend most of my time on Facebook and also LinkedIn, because I have almost 20,000 people on LinkedIn. I used to be a recruiter, so I lived on LinkedIn. It was like a daily event. So it's a good one. How do you feel about TikTok?
How do I feel about it? I'm not against it. I mean, it's a very powerful platform, but again, just like any other platform, you have to know what your demographic, and is that where you need to be?
Right, there you go. So there's your answers, everyone. Lori McNeil, I have pages of notes, and I hope everyone here took notes. There was a ton of comments. I think we're at like 150 comments right now. So please continue, everyone. Thank you so much, Lori. So thank you again so much. I mean, I'm following this lady around the world, and I'm so blessed to have her on all of my summits, and she opens for me every single time. And each time, it's now almost this entire year, it's always been from a different geographical place, right? Like it
has been. That's been fun.
And she's absolutely right. She makes it happen no matter what the internet's doing, no matter what the lighting is. I remember one time, I don't know where you were, maybe Vegas, which of all the places in the world, and the lighting was literally, she was in light on one side of her face, and it just went like this, and on the other side was dark. And I'm like, oh, if that doesn't speak of Vegas, then I don't know what does, right?
That was pretty funny because the lighting started off really good, and then the sun was coming. It was super early in the morning, and so the sun was coming up, and yeah, I couldn't reach any lights or anything to fix it. It was kind of funny.
Yeah, and I don't think actually Lori mentioned this, but I don't think she sleeps. If she does, I don't know when.
I do.
We're up late at night talking sometimes. We're up in the morning and she's here. I mean, look at it, 6 o'clock in the morning, maybe not where she is right now. Bahamas should be Eastern Standard, right?
It's Eastern. It's Eastern.
Oh, for once. I didn't make
it. Probably the only time. Yeah, that's true. I'm usually like up, I don't know, 4:30 and speaking for you live by like 6 a.m.
Honestly, like who would do that, right? Isn't she wonderful? So thank you again, Lori, so much, and have a wonderful day, and have fun keynote speaking. I'm blessed to have you as my keynote, so they are also equally as blessed. I know whose it is, so I hope you have fun, because there's some good speakers there too. So
absolutely. Well, thank you again, Marianne, for having me. And anyone who wants to reach out to me, reach out to me. But you guys have a great rest of your event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I just posted Lori's website into the chat on my Facebook. So feel free to go in there and get it. And if you need it, I will connect you to her anyway. So don't worry about it. Thank you so much, Lori.
Thank you.